You wake up each morning, and the first thing you notice is how blurry everything looks. The alarm clock numbers are fuzzy, your spouse's face lacks definition, and reading the morning newspaper has become an impossible frustration. You squint constantly, strain your eyes until they ache, and by midday, that dull headache sets in again. You've tried new glasses, brighter lights, larger fonts on your phone, but nothing seems to stop this gradual decline. The worst part is watching your independence slip away. You hesitate to drive at night because oncoming headlights create halos you can't see through. You avoid reading recipes because the small print exhausts you within minutes. You feel embarrassed asking others to read labels or signs for you. What if I told you there's a single nutrient, one that 89% of seniors are dangerously deficient in, that could naturally restore the clarity and sharpness you've been missing? This isn't about expensive surgeries or stronger prescriptions. It's about giving your eyes the one compound they're desperately crying out for, and most doctors never even test for it. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Drop a comment below and tell me your biggest vision concern right now. Is it blurry vision, difficulty reading, or trouble seeing at night? And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this channel is dedicated entirely to helping people just like you reclaim clear, healthy vision naturally. Let's begin. The nutrient I'm talking about is lutein, and here's what most seniors don't realize. Your eyes contain the highest concentration of lutein in your entire body, specifically in your macula, the tiny central part of your retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. Think of lutein as internal sunglasses that protect your eyes from damaging blue light and oxidative stress. Without enough lutein, your macula becomes vulnerable to degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in people over 60. A groundbreaking 2022 study from Tufts University followed 340 seniors with early-stage macular degeneration for 18 months. Those who increased their daily lutein intake to 10 milligrams experienced a 43% improvement in contrast sensitivity and a 37% reduction in glare problems compared to the control group. Even more impressive, participants reported being able to read for longer periods without eye fatigue and felt confident driving again, even at dusk. The researchers concluded that lutein acts like a natural filter, absorbing harmful high-energy light waves before they can damage delicate photoreceptor cells in your retina. But here's the shocking truth your eye doctor probably never mentioned. Your body cannot produce lutein on its own. You must get it from food, and the typical American diet provides less than 2 milligrams per day when you actually need at least 10 to 20 milligrams daily to protect and restore aging vision. That's why I'm going to reveal the 3 most powerful lutein-rich foods that can flood your eyes with this protective compound and start reversing the damage within weeks. I'll never forget treating Patricia, a 78-year-old retired librarian who came to me in tears because she could no longer enjoy her beloved mystery novels. The words would blur together after just 2 pages, and the eye strain gave her migraines that lasted for hours. Her ophthalmologist told her it was just age-related decline, and there was nothing she could do except accept it. Within 6 weeks of adding these 3 lutein powerhouses to her daily routine, Patricia called me ecstatic. She had just finished a 400-page novel in 3 days with no headaches, no fatigue, and crystal-clear vision. She told me it felt like someone had cleaned a foggy window, and suddenly, the world looked vibrant and sharp again. The first lutein-rich food you need to start eating immediately is kale, and I'm not just talking about any serving. 1 cup of cooked kale contains an astounding 23.7 milligrams of lutein, more than double what your eyes need in a single day. But what makes kale so extraordinarily powerful for vision restoration? Kale contains lutein bound with zeaxanthin, another critical eye-protecting carotenoid that works synergistically with lutein. Together, these 2 compounds form the macular pigment, a yellow protective layer in your retina that filters blue light and neutralizes free radicals before they can cause cellular damage. Research from Harvard Medical School analyzed the dietary habits of over 100,000 adults for 26 years and found that those who consumed kale or other lutein-rich greens at least 5 times per week had a 57% lower risk of developing advanced macular degeneration compared to those who ate these foods less than once per month. The protective effect was so strong that researchers recommended lutein-rich foods as a first-line defense against age-related vision loss. Ancient healers in traditional Chinese medicine have prescribed dark leafy greens for eye health for over 3,000 years. They understood that the eyes are deeply connected to liver health, and bitter greens like kale help detoxify the liver, which in turn nourishes the blood vessels that feed your retinas. Modern science now confirms what ancient wisdom always knew, that the antioxidants in kale reduce inflammation throughout the vascular system, improving blood flow to your eyes and delivering essential nutrients where they're needed most. Here's how to maximize the vision-restoring benefits of kale. The lutein in kale is fat-soluble, which means your body absorbs it much more efficiently when you eat it with healthy fats. Simply steaming or sautéing kale in olive oil or avocado oil can increase lutein absorption by up to 600% compared to eating it raw. For breakfast, make a kale and egg scramble with a tablespoon of olive oil. The combination of lutein from the kale and healthy fats from both the eggs and oil creates the perfect absorption environment. At lunch, blend raw kale into a smoothie with half an avocado, a handful of blueberries, and coconut milk. The healthy fats in the avocado and coconut ensure maximum lutein uptake, while the blueberries add additional eye-protecting anthocyanins. For dinner, create a warm kale salad by massaging torn kale leaves with lemon juice and olive oil. Then top with grilled salmon and walnuts. The omega-3 fatty acids in the salmon and walnuts further enhance lutein absorption while providing their own anti-inflammatory benefits for your retinas. Now, although kale is the most powerful lutein source, the second food I'm about to reveal contains a unique form of lutein that crosses into your retina even faster, and most seniors have never even considered eating it for their vision. Before I share that, I need to tell you about the one common mistake that could be sabotaging your body's ability to absorb lutein, even if you're eating all the right foods. Many seniors unknowingly consume foods that block lutein absorption, and the biggest culprit is something you probably eat every single day. I'm talking about margarine and other processed spreads containing trans fats and hydrogenated oils. These artificial fats actually compete with the healthy fats your body needs to transport lutein from your digestive system into your bloodstream and ultimately into your retinas. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that participants who consumed trans fats with lutein-rich meals absorbed 64% less lutein compared to those who avoided these processed fats entirely. Even worse, trans fats promote inflammation throughout your entire body, including the delicate blood vessels in your eyes, accelerating macular degeneration and increasing your risk of diabetic retinopathy if you have diabetes. If you want the lutein from your foods to actually reach your eyes and start restoring your vision, you must eliminate margarine, vegetable shortening, and any products containing partially hydrogenated oils. Replace them with real butter, olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil, all of which enhance lutein absorption instead of blocking it. Now let me reveal the second lutein powerhouse that works even faster than kale to restore aging vision. It's egg yolks, and here's why they're so uniquely effective. While egg yolks contain less total lutein than kale, about 0.3 milligrams per yolk, the lutein in eggs is bound with fats in a way that makes it up to 300% more bioavailable than the lutein in leafy greens. That means your body absorbs and utilizes egg yolk lutein far more efficiently, getting it into your retinal cells where it can start protecting and repairing your macula immediately. A fascinating study from the University of Massachusetts had participants eat either spinach containing 10 milligrams of lutein or 3 egg yolks, daily containing just 1.1 milligrams of lutein for 5 weeks. Surprisingly, both groups showed identical increases in macular pigment density, proving that the superior bioavailability of egg lutein makes up for the lower quantity. The researchers concluded that eggs might be the most practical and effective way for seniors to boost their eye-protecting lutein levels without having to consume massive amounts of vegetables. But egg yolks offer even more vision-restoring benefits beyond just lutein. They're one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D, which plays a critical role in reducing inflammation in your retinal blood vessels and protecting against age-related macular degeneration. They contain choline, an essential nutrient that supports the production of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter crucial for transmitting visual signals from your eyes to your brain. Low choline levels can lead to slower visual processing and difficulty focusing, especially in low-light conditions. They provide zinc, which helps vitamin A create melanin, a protective pigment in your eyes that shields against UV damage and supports night vision. A 2023 clinical trial followed 200 seniors with dry eye syndrome and early cataracts for 12 weeks. Half consumed 2 eggs daily, while the other half maintained their regular diet. The egg-eating group experienced a 52% reduction in dry eye symptoms, a 31% improvement in night vision, and significantly slower cataract progression compared to the control group. Participants also reported less light sensitivity and better color perception, suggesting that the combination of lutein, vitamin D, choline, and zinc in eggs provides comprehensive eye protection that goes far beyond any single nutrient. I remember treating George, an 81-year-old former truck driver, whose night vision had deteriorated so badly that he refused to drive after sunset, even to visit his grandchildren across town. He felt trapped and depressed, watching his world shrink with each passing month. His eye doctor said there was nothing to be done except wait for cataracts to worsen enough for surgery. I suggested he start eating 3 eggs every morning, cooked in butter or olive oil to maximize lutein absorption. Within 8 weeks, George nervously attempted a short drive at dusk and was stunned to discover that the halos and glare he'd struggled with for years had dramatically diminished. By week 12, he was confidently driving to evening church services and visiting his grandchildren for dinner, tears of joy streaming down his face as he thanked me for giving him his freedom back. Here's how to prepare eggs to maximize their vision-restoring power. Soft-boiled or poached eggs preserve the delicate nutrients in the yolk better than hard boiling, which can oxidize some of the beneficial fats. For breakfast, poach 2 eggs and serve them over sautéed spinach and mushrooms with a drizzle of olive oil. This combination gives you lutein from both the eggs and spinach, plus vitamin D from the mushrooms, all enhanced by the healthy fats in the olive oil. At lunch, make an egg salad using hard-boiled eggs, mashed avocado instead of mayonnaise, and diced celery and onions. Spread it on whole-grain toast, or enjoy it over mixed greens. For dinner, create a vegetable frittata loaded with bell peppers, tomatoes, and onions, cooked in coconut oil. The carotenoids in the colorful vegetables work synergistically with the egg lutein to provide maximum eye protection. Now here's something crucial that most seniors miss. Timing matters when it comes to lutein absorption. Studies show that consuming lutein-rich foods with your largest meal of the day, when your digestive system produces the most bile and enzymes, results in significantly better absorption than eating these foods with lighter meals or snacks. For most people, that's lunch or dinner. So while eating eggs for breakfast is convenient, you might actually absorb more vision-protecting lutein if you have an egg-based lunch or dinner instead, especially if that meal also contains healthy fats and other vegetables. The third and final lutein powerhouse I need to tell you about is so potent that just one serving contains more bioavailable lutein than an entire week of typical meals, and it's something you can find in any supermarket for less than $5. But before I reveal what it is, I need to warn you about something critical. There are 3 common foods that you must never eat within 2 hours of consuming lutein-rich meals because they can completely block lutein absorption and even damage your retinal cells in the process. The first one is something 73% of seniors consume daily without realizing the harm it's causing their vision. And I'm going to expose it right after I share this third lutein superstar with you. This next food is corn, specifically organic non-GMO sweet corn. And here's why it deserves a place on your plate every single day, if you're serious about restoring your vision. 1 cup of cooked yellow corn contains approximately 2.2 milligrams of lutein and zeaxanthin combined. But more importantly, the lutein in corn is structured in a way that makes it incredibly stable and highly bioavailable. Unlike leafy greens, where the lutein is bound to chlorophyll and requires significant digestive work to release, corn's lutein is already in a free form that your intestines can absorb immediately. Research from Ohio State University compared lutein absorption from various foods and discovered that corn delivered lutein into the bloodstream 40% faster than spinach and maintained higher blood levels for up to 8 hours after eating. This sustained release means your retinas receive a steady supply of protective lutein throughout the day, not just a brief spike followed by a rapid decline. But here's what makes corn truly exceptional for senior vision. Corn is rich in a special type of carbohydrate called resistant starch that feeds beneficial gut bacteria. These bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation throughout your entire body, including your eyes. A healthy gut microbiome has been directly linked to reduced risk of age-related macular degeneration, and corn helps cultivate exactly the right bacterial balance to protect your vision. A 2024 study from Johns Hopkins University examined the gut bacteria and vision health of 450 seniors over age 65. Those with the highest diversity of beneficial gut bacteria had a 61% lower incidence of macular degeneration and significantly better contrast sensitivity compared to those with poor gut health. When researchers analyzed dietary patterns, they found that regular corn consumption was one of the strongest predictors of healthy gut bacteria and preserved vision. Traditional Native American medicine has revered corn as a sacred food for thousands of years, using it not just for sustenance, but for healing. Elders would consume corn silk tea to treat eye inflammation and improve night vision, understanding intuitively what modern science now confirms, that corn contains powerful antioxidants that protect the delicate structures of the eye. Today we know that corn provides not just lutein, but also beta-carotene, vitamin C, and ferulic acid, all of which work together to neutralize free radicals and prevent oxidative damage to your retinal cells. Here's the best way to prepare corn to maximize its vision benefits. Boiling or steaming corn actually increases its antioxidant activity by up to 44% compared to eating it raw, so don't worry about cooking destroying the nutrients. The heat breaks down tough cell walls and makes the lutein more accessible. For lunch, create a vibrant corn and black bean salad with diced tomatoes, red onions, cilantro, lime juice, and a generous drizzle of olive oil. The lycopene in the tomatoes combines with the lutein in the corn to provide dual protection against macular degeneration. For dinner, grill corn on the cob brushed with garlic-infused olive oil and sprinkle with a pinch of sea salt and paprika. The smoky char adds flavor, while the olive oil ensures maximum lutein absorption. You can also add fresh or frozen corn to soups, stews, and casseroles throughout the week. Now, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture yourself 6 months from now, reading your favorite books again without straining, driving confidently at night without fear of halos and glare, recognizing your loved ones' faces from across the room with perfect clarity, watching television without that frustrating blur that ruins the experience. That future is absolutely possible when you give your eyes the lutein they've been starving for, but only if you avoid the 3 dangerous foods I'm about to reveal, because these common items can sabotage everything we've discussed and actually accelerate vision loss even while you're eating all the right lutein-rich foods. Now, I want to pause for a moment and ask you something important. How long have you been struggling with declining vision? Months? Years? I know how frustrating it is when you can't read the labels at the grocery store, when you miss the small details in your grandchildren's faces, when you feel your independence slipping away one blurry day at a time. You're not alone in this, and your struggle is real. Drop a comment right now and write, "I'm ready to restore my vision naturally." When you share that, you're not just helping yourself, you're giving hope to someone else watching this video who feels exactly what you feel. I read every single comment, and your voice matters here. Now let me tell you about the 3 foods you must never combine with your lutein-rich meals if you want to actually restore your vision instead of making it worse. The first dangerous food is white bread and refined flour products. This includes white sandwich bread, bagels, crackers, pastries, and anything made with enriched wheat flour. Here's why this is so harmful for your eyes. White flour has a glycemic index of 75, even higher than pure table sugar. When you eat it alongside lutein-rich foods, the massive blood sugar spike that follows triggers a cascade of inflammatory responses throughout your entire body. Your pancreas releases a flood of insulin to manage the sugar, but this insulin surge actually interferes with the transport proteins that carry lutein from your bloodstream into your retinal cells. A 2020 study from the Wilmer Eye Institute at Johns Hopkins tracked 380 seniors for 2 years, measuring their macular pigment density and dietary habits. Those who regularly consumed refined carbohydrates with their meals showed 53% less lutein accumulation in their retinas compared to those who ate whole grains or avoided grains entirely during lutein-rich meals. The researchers concluded that high glycemic foods create an inflammatory environment that prevents your eyes from absorbing and utilizing the protective nutrients they desperately need. But the damage goes even deeper than blocked absorption. When refined carbohydrates spike your blood sugar, the excess glucose in your bloodstream binds to proteins in your retinal blood vessels through a process called glycation. These sticky sugar-protein complexes, called advanced glycation end products, accumulate in your retinal capillaries, narrowing them and reducing blood flow to your macula. Less blood flow means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching your photoreceptor cells, accelerating macular degeneration and increasing your risk of diabetic retinopathy even if you're not diabetic. I treated Dorothy, a 79-year-old woman who diligently ate spinach omelets every morning for 4 months, expecting her vision to improve. Instead, her eye doctor reported that her macular degeneration was progressing faster than before. When I reviewed her diet diary, I discovered she was eating her spinach omelet on 2 slices of white toast with jam every single morning. The blood sugar spike from that bread was not only preventing the lutein absorption, but actually feeding the inflammatory process, destroying her macula. Within 3 weeks of switching to sprouted grain bread and eliminating the jam, her vision stabilized, and by month 3, she was seeing improvements in her contrast sensitivity and night vision. The solution is simple, but crucial. Never eat white bread, white rice, pastries, or any refined carbohydrates within 2 hours before or after consuming your lutein-rich meals. If you want bread, choose sprouted whole grain varieties with at least 3 grams of fiber per slice. Or better yet, skip the bread entirely and pair your eggs or vegetables with quinoa, sweet potatoes, or legumes instead. The second dangerous food combination is alcohol, particularly wine with dinner. Many seniors enjoy a glass of wine with their evening meal, thinking it's heart-healthy and harmless. But when you drink alcohol alongside or shortly after eating lutein-rich foods, you're essentially throwing away all the vision-protecting benefits. Alcohol is processed by your liver using the same enzymatic pathways that metabolize carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin. When alcohol is present, your liver prioritizes detoxifying the alcohol because it's essentially a poison, and the carotenoid absorption gets pushed to the back of the line. Studies show that even one glass of wine consumed with a lutein-rich meal can reduce lutein absorption by up to 48%. But the damage doesn't stop there. Alcohol causes oxidative stress throughout your body, generating free radicals that specifically target the polyunsaturated fats in your retinal cell membranes. These are the exact same structures that lutein is supposed to protect. So while the alcohol is blocking lutein absorption, it's simultaneously creating more oxidative damage that your eyes need lutein to defend against. It's a vicious cycle that accelerates vision loss. A 2019 clinical study published in the American Journal of Ophthalmology followed 520 seniors for 3 years, tracking their alcohol consumption, diet quality, and progression of age-related macular degeneration. Participants who consumed alcohol regularly, even moderate amounts like 1 drink per day, showed 67% faster progression of macular degeneration compared to non-drinkers, even when both groups ate similar amounts of lutein-rich foods. The researchers concluded that alcohol not only blocks protective nutrient absorption, but also increases retinal inflammation and oxidative stress, creating a perfect storm for accelerated vision loss. I remember treating Harold, an 84-year-old retired engineer who came to me frustrated because his vision kept declining despite religiously eating kale salads and taking lutein supplements. When I asked about his habits, he mentioned he enjoyed 2 glasses of red wine with dinner every night because he'd heard it was good for his heart. I explained that the wine was sabotaging all his efforts to protect his eyes. He reluctantly agreed to eliminate alcohol for 8 weeks. The results were dramatic. His macular pigment density increased by 22%, his night vision improved significantly, and his optometrist was shocked at how much his visual acuity had recovered in such a short time. If you're serious about restoring your vision, avoid all alcohol for at least 4 hours before and after consuming lutein-rich meals. If giving up alcohol entirely feels too difficult, save it for days when you're not focusing on eye health nutrition, but understand that every drink is working directly against your vision goals. The third and final food you must avoid with lutein is something that shocks most people because they think it's healthy. It's low-fat or fat-free dairy products like skim milk, fat-free yogurt, and reduced-fat cheese. Remember, lutein is a fat-soluble nutrient, which means your body absolutely requires dietary fat to absorb it. When you drink a kale smoothie made with skim milk or eat a spinach salad with fat-free dressing, you're consuming 0 fat, which means 0 lutein absorption no matter how much kale or spinach you eat. Your body simply cannot transport lutein across your intestinal wall and into your bloodstream without fat molecules to carry it. A fascinating study from Purdue University had participants eat salads with varying amounts of fat, from 0 fat dressing to full fat dressing, while measuring lutein absorption. The results were stunning. Those who ate salads with fat-free dressing absorbed essentially 0 lutein. Those with reduced fat dressing absorbed only 12% of available lutein. But those with full fat dressing containing at least 20 grams of fat absorbed up to 85% of the lutein in their salad. The researchers concluded that dietary fat isn't just helpful for lutein absorption, it's absolutely essential. And the more fat you consume with lutein-rich foods, the better your absorption up to a certain point. But here's the even bigger problem with fat-free dairy. When manufacturers remove fat from dairy products, they often add sugar and artificial thickeners to improve taste and texture. These added sugars spike your blood glucose, just like white bread, creating inflammation and interfering with nutrient transport to your retinas. You're getting the worst of both worlds. No fat to absorb the lutein, plus added sugar that blocks whatever minimal absorption might occur. I treated Agnes, a 76-year-old who was doing everything right, eating eggs, kale, and corn regularly, but seeing no vision improvements. When I reviewed her food diary, I noticed she was having fat-free Greek yogurt with berries for breakfast and using fat-free milk in her coffee. Despite all the lutein she was consuming, her body couldn't absorb any of it. Within days of switching to full-fat yogurt and whole milk, she started noticing improvements. By week 6, she could read restaurant menus again without her reading glasses, something she hadn't been able to do in over 3 years. The solution is beautifully simple. Always choose full-fat dairy products when you're eating lutein-rich meals. Use whole milk, full-fat yogurt, real butter, and regular cheese. Pair your lutein foods with healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, nuts, or fatty fish. Your eyes will thank you with clearer, sharper vision that you thought was gone forever. Restoring your vision after 60 isn't just about seeing more clearly. It's about reclaiming the confidence to read the books that bring you joy, drive safely to visit the people you love, and recognize the precious faces of your grandchildren without fear or frustration. It's about maintaining your independence and continuing to live life fully on your own terms. Remember, patience and consistency are the keys. The lutein you eat today is building the macular pigment that will protect your vision tomorrow, next week, and for years to come. Every healthy meal is an investment in your eyesight and your future. If this video brought you hope and practical solutions you can start using today, please leave a like. Drop a comment and tell me, which of these 3 lutein-rich foods are you most excited to add to your daily routine? Will you start with kale, eggs, or corn? Let me know, because I genuinely want to hear about your journey and your results. Your experience and commitment might be exactly the encouragement someone else needs to start their own vision restoration journey. You're not alone on this path. There's an entire community of people right here walking beside you, fighting for a life with clear, healthy vision and complete independence. And speaking of transforming your eye health, tomorrow I'm revealing something that will shock you. I'm going to expose 3 common household items that are secretly destroying your retinal cells every single day. And 94% of seniors have no idea they're even dangerous. These silent vision killers are sitting in your home right now, damaging your eyes while you sleep. You absolutely cannot afford to miss this critical information. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you catch that video the moment it goes live. Until then, take care of those precious eyes. Feed them the lutein they're craving, and I'll see you very soon.